Okay, we're working with Casanova. We had some more mic troubles, so we are doing a voiceover. So we'll do the best we can. Casanova has been very skittish when getting on, and the last time we did, he kind of got the better of him, and he did buck with us. We were able to ride it out of him and put a good ride on him, and then we went back to doing some desensitizing and groundwork for several days. So now that we're going back to get on, we're doing everything slow, taking the steps to make sure he's good and calm before he gets on, so we're not getting a bucking habit created, hopefully. And he did. He wound up doing good. He did not get nowhere near as nervous. He's been getting nervous once you swing your leg over and kind of start to set it in. But he did great today. A little bit nervous, as you can see on the first few turns. He didn't want to walk off straight, so as soon as he kind of started to go, he kind of felt like he wanted to do something, so we would just kind of turn him. There he goes. Now he's finally walking off and realizing, okay, we can go straight. This is okay. So then we're just gonna kind of walk him around, turn him a bunch. Once you've been up there for a little bit and ride around, his nervousness does go away. It's just right there in the very beginning. But he was still spooking at all kinds of things when we went back to groundwork, so that did help tremendously as well. Casanova's kind of a lazy horse, so we do warm him up for a little bit in the walk, and then we do trot around a little left, a little right, but you do kind of constantly got to kick on him to keep him there. And the wind was blowing very good today, so lots of things blowing around the fence. The trees were blowing, lots of wind coming along, so he didn't spook at any of that. That was good. We were having some pretty good gusts. Do you see those trees blowing back there? Hat almost blew off several times. I figured if that did happen, we might really have a nervous reaction, but it never did. I was able to duck my head enough to keep it on. Again, you saw in the beginning of the ride his head was held a little higher when he was nervous. Once he kind of gets calmed down, his head drops and he rides around a lot better. And this horse is only 3, going on 4, so he's still got quite a bit to learn. That's what he's here for. Just got to figure what he needs and go from there. The horse does stop and back up very well. And yes, I do have spurs on. Everyone says that, why do you have spurs on when starting with these young ones? Why go ahead and get them used to the spurs? There's no reason not to. Most people are going to ride in the Western world with spurs on at some point. So if they're trained with the spurs, they never spook at the spurs. A horse that you don't start with spurs, as soon as you touch them with spurs later down the road, you're going to get a reaction that you may or may not want. So if they learn with the spurs never bother them. And I also am pretty good about not putting the spurs in them. They're there if I need them, but when I'm asking them to go and stuff, like with him, I'm kicking with the inside of my feet and squeezing with my legs. The spur never really actually touches them. I know some people think that spurs are horrible and outlawed, but there's also a lot of horses that just have no go or desire to go unless you do have a spur on. And if you're properly using them, they're not hurting any horse at all. And no, my spurs are not big and aggressive. They're very small, round, and no sharp points of any kind. In the video, you see that all we're doing is riding around left, right. We trotted a little left, trotted a little right. Some back up, letting him know he's doing a good job. And as the video is getting close to the end, we'd like to thank y'all for subscribing and following us and liking us and commenting with us. We'd like to have y'all continue in the future and to continue watching Casanova's progress as we finish him out for his owners. And thank y'all for watching.